gets the white flag. One more lap to go. Stewart has a lot of traffic ahead of him, but I don't think it's going to be a factor in the race. They come down the backstretch. Bobby Labonte is still about 5 or 6 car lengths behind him. Here comes Tony Stewart off the corner. And in his 25th NASCAR Winston Cup race, Tony Stewart wins at Richmond International Raceway. Becomes the first rookie in Winston Cup racing to win since Davey Allison at Dover.
Hey, Tony, congratulations. #1, your first victory in NASCAR Winston Cup. What a night.
Oh, man. I wish I knew what to say. I mean, you plan all your life for something like this, and I don't know. It's the first time I've been speechless. Everybody knows I know how to talk. This is for Davey Allison. I mean, this was the mark I had to shoot for all year, and Donnie Allison and his family have been great to me this year. I'm out of breath. That's a lot of stuff to talk about after winning a race.
And the start of a confrontation between Kenny Irwin in the Haviline car and Tony Stewart in the Home Depot-sponsored machine. Contact between the two of them. Round went Kenny Irwin. This is the onboard view from Kenny Irwin's machine. And that was the start of a series of confrontations. This was a little bit later on in the race. Coming down the inside, getting past Tony Stewart, and then a little nudge from Stewart in the number 20 car. Saw Kenny Irwin spinning once again. 2 spins. Let's take another look at that. Down comes Irwin down the inside. A brave manoeuvre to get past. Just a slight contact from Tony Stewart, and round went Kenny Irwin. Well, they both survived that one, but it wasn't going to be forever, because Irwin got his revenge a little bit later in the race, lap 147, and this time Tony Stewart backed heavily into the wall. Well, perhaps Irwin on board with him now. Take a look at this, giving a little nudge to Tony Stewart, perhaps getting his revenge for the earlier spins. These two used to race against each other in sprint cars. Tony Stewart said afterwards it was much the same in those days as well, but he was not very impressed, and as you can see, Tony Stewart here was out of his car throwing his gloves at Kenny Irwin, and in fact picked up an official reprimand from the NASCAR organization. This is what Tony Stewart had to say at the time.
The first time was my fault, and it was an accident. I had my spotter go down and tell his spotter that it was an accident, and then he gave me a hard time getting by. The second time we got by him, and he started catching us after that. I mean, after that we were a little slower than he was, and I moved up to let him around. He hits me off at 2, so I hit him back in 3 and 4 and spun him, so he took me out again.
Involving John Andretti, involved in an accident which, funnily enough, there's that number 20 car of Tony Stewart in the middle of it all again. Although he didn't get tied up in the accident, more problems for Bobby Hamilton and Rick Bickle, and then along came Andretti, whack, straight into the back of Bobby Hamilton's car. Take another view here from on board Bobby Hamilton's car. This was him being pushed up towards the wall. Look out for Andretti. There he comes into the boot lid.
Would become only the second driver to win 2 races in his rookie season. Davey Allison, the other in 1987. Tony Stewart off the corner. Checkered flag. Tony Stewart wins at Phoenix International Raceway.
And Tony Stewart unbuckles all the seat belts and everything else. The helmet jumps up here for a little celebration. Going to destroy the top of the race car, but he didn't get me with the Gatorade. Congratulations, Tony Stewart. What a great race car, and what a magnificent job you did in that great race car.
Wasn't me today, it was my pit crew. I mean, they got us out on that last stop and took a 2.5 lead and turned it into a 3-second lead, so it gave me the comfort to go ahead and run where I needed to run.
Did you ever think that you would visit Victory Lane twice?
Shoot, I didn't think I'd show up once, let alone twice, so it's just a great honor. I mean, Joe Gibbs Racing and everybody at Home Depot and Rigid and Husky, and the Goodyear tires were very, very consistent all day today, and this is the man right here. Good job.
And he's getting congratulations from his crew chief, Greg Zippadelli. Now, one more thing, Tony, by our count, that moved you back into 4th place in the NASCAR Winston Cup point standings. Another awesome show for a guy in his rookie year.
That's good. I got people calling me every week wanting me to kick Joe Gordon's rear end, so glad I can hold up my end of the deal finally.
Here comes Tony Stewart off turn number 4, down to the start-finish line to win the Pennzoil 400, doing what no other NASCAR Winston Cup rookie has ever done, winning 3 races in his rookie season.
Stewart up on the outside, just gets the car up in that loose stuff, and around he goes. Now he comes back in the wall. But there's a lot of traffic coming, folks, a lot of traffic, and we're going to see Robert Presley in the 77 car somewhere right here. He's going to run into the right side of Tony Stewart's car.
There are Compton and Rusty Wallace going by on the high side, and Presley then hitting Stewart.
One more angle there. We see Tony spin, head on in the wall. That isn't too bad. All that sheet metal, that's given, but when he comes down off the corner and almost stops, and Robert Presley comes along and runs in the right side, that's going to be the one that hurts.
From Stewart's onboard camera.
Is total dominance. That car has been there all day long.
And so is the driver. Tony Stewart has done a brilliant job today behind the wheel. And she loves it.
There's a Tony Stewart fan. One more mile around Dover. And Tony will have his 4th career NASCAR Winston Cup win. It will be the 3rd win of the season for Pontiac. And as we said, the 12th winner in 13 races. Tony Stewart wins.
And here comes Tony Stewart down to take the white flag. One more lap to go. Remember, he won the race last weekend at Dover. After starting in 27th position, he started on the pole here this afternoon, and it doesn't appear as if he's going to get a challenge on this last lap. He's now in turns 3 and 4, and winning his 2nd consecutive race of 2000 is Tony Stewart. His 5th win of this year. That's more than any other driver. Tony Stewart emerges from his car as the 36th driver to win a race at the famed Martinsville Speedway. Here's Jerry Punch.
Tony climbs out of the car and gets a big hug and a big bottle of Gatorade, and we'll put that Home Depot hat on. And Tony, outstanding effort, but it looked like with 34 laps to go, Jeff Burton was going to cruise, and suddenly the whole race changed when the caution came out.
We started running down there before the caution, but you know, I think lap traffic was hurting him a little bit, and we just owe it to the guys. I mean, they got us out of the pits second there behind the 40 car, and he took 2 tires, we took 4, and they made some adjustments, and it was a lot better at the beginning of the run. And man, I tell you what, the whole off Dale Earnhardt at Martinsville at the end, and Jeff Burton, I tell you what, I just that's unbelievable.
What goes through your mind with 11 laps to go? You look in the mirror, and you know that Earnhardt's behind you, Burton's behind him, and the green flag's coming out. And you know how Earnhardt wants these.
I'm trying to think of the worst thing I can think of that I would want to compare it to, but that's the last guy you want to see behind you at Martinsville with 11 to go, I can tell you that.
Front straightaway, a lot of smoke car in the wall. Jeffrey Bodine. Car went around and damage to the left front.
Don't let up pack.
All right, coming to the flag, turn 3. Remember, there's a damaged car to the apron in turn 1. Stewart handily is going to bring them down to the caution flag. This may or may not be the last green flag lap of the race. 4 second, Earnhardt over Bobby Labonte. Jarrett in 4th. Red flag for rain. They are not going to run this through under caution. We saw a bit of rain on their Bobby Labonte's onboard camera. We saw it on Tony Stewart's windshield. Well, the rain dance worked for those fellows down in Stewart's pit.
If you had to be worried about someone with a 5-lap shootout, had this storm not come, who would you worry about the most, the Intimidator or your teammate?
The black 3 for sure. I mean, I know the 18's not going to hurt me. He may go by me, but the 3 wouldn't have a problem roughing you up a little bit on the way by just to say hi, and he'd smile and laugh as he was doing it. So I didn't really like seeing him back there at the end, but I'm just glad it's over.
Final lap for Tony Stewart. One more lap around the 1.5-mile Homestead Miami Speedway for Bobby Labonte to get a Winston Cup championship ring. Fans are all on their feet in the grandstands. Labonte now off of turn number 2, half a lap away. He may catch Mark for 3rd. I probably won't get him.
I don't think he wants to. Who's happier now? These guys or the 20 bunch?
So much heart, so much effort, dedication, skills. goes into winning a NASCAR Winston Cup championship on the part of so many teams. It'll be sweet for Joe Gibbs today. Tony Stewart wins the Pennzoil 400 for a second straight year.
I just kept checking on Bobby all day. I was real concerned about where he was at and you know what we were doing. You know, when I saw the 3 car and we got a lap on him, then got a lap on a 99, I knew that was going to help him out some. So did everything we could do to help out today, but he did it himself. I mean, he's a great champion.
Tony Stewart thought he fought better of leading on the last lap. I think he wanted to get Earnhardt shook out and see what he could do with it.
Found out Stewart, no help, and he goes by Earnhardt on the bottom side going into turn 3 and 4.
I'm not so sure they didn't touch because Earnhardt really took off up the hill. White flag.
A Pontiac has never won this race. Stewart leads the bell lap in a Pontiac. Here comes Earnhardt, Wallace, Jeff Burton, and Gordon to the inside.
Let me tell you what, Tony Stewart is doing some good mirror driving right now.
Look at the run. Dale Jarrett gets there behind Jeff Gordon on the bottom side of the racetrack.
Boys, the race is just getting ready to start. Hang on to your helmet.
Where do you swerve?
Well, nowhere yet. All right, now go.
This is it. Down to turn 3, final time.
If he doesn't get him here, he doesn't get him.
3 wide going into turn 3. Dale Jarrett pulled Bobby Labonte along with him. He's up to 4th.
But he's not for the big money. Tony Stewart, the Rushville, Indiana Rocket, leads him off the corner. Earnhardt may have one last chance. Tony Stewart wins the Budweiser shootout over Dale Earnhardt and Rusty Wallace.
I'll tell you what, you know, when you got Dale Earnhardt behind you, he's going to pull every trick out he can to win here. And he's won so much here that you got to pay attention to what he's doing and playing the restrictor plate game. I hate this stuff, but it worked for us.
Welcome back to Daytona. It's the big one, gang. It's the big one. It's what we've all been fearing. This kind of racing is going to happen.
A horrible crash on the back straightaway that began when Tony Stewart got turned sideways against the backstretch wall number 20. Jason Leffler all torn up. The defending Cup champion Labonte. Stewart, there's fire underneath the hood of Bobby Labonte's car. He's out. He's okay. This is the view. You see Tony Stewart moving inside his car. Steve Park's car demolished, and Stewart's car flew and then had a car land on it.
The front of his car, the roll cage is down on him. I tell you, and that doesn't look good. They're running in with the safety crew. There's Robbie Gordon, and I'm not so sure that car there didn't have something to do with the start of it. It looked like a yellow car got against the outside wall to me.
Ward Burton, perhaps the fastest car here, torn up. Robbie Gordon, damage to Jeff Burton, Kenny Wallace as well. They have made it back to pit road.
Dale Jarrett, here he comes down pit road, tore all the pieces.
I think we could say it easier. I only see about 7 or 8 cars out there that does not have damage.
Steve Park pounding the roof of his car in frustration. And Jarrett, for the second time in 3 years, is caught up in a melee.
Here's Mark Martin,
all torn up. Let's see what happened coming off turn 2.
It's happened up here. I think that this car right here, man, and look at, is that Stewart's car?
That's Stewart's car. Rode right across the top of Robbie Gordon's car, the 4 car.
And I think everybody back up and look at it again. I think that the 4 and the 20 may have been that started that.
Stewart was the first car sideways. Here's see why.
Here's the 4 got into the back of Ward Burton, I believe.
And then Burton's 22 got into Stewart. And everybody scrambles.
That car is taking a whale of a ride, that 20 car is. It's getting hit. It's upside down. It's hit on its roof. It's on fire.
And here's another angle.
Coming off of turn 2 where we've said that it's the wind. Somebody got into the back of that car right there.
That's Ward Burton right there.
You saw a puff of tire smoke, and then everything let loose.
I think that's what started. Somebody got in the back of Ward Burton off turn 2.
I'm pretty sure the 4 car got into the back of Ward Burton, turned him into the 20 car, and God help all of them because there's no place to go. And you can't see.
Here we come off of turn 2 again. Right there. See, Ward Burton got pushed around by that car, and that's the 4 car.
And he got in the back of Tony Stewart. Of course, Tony Stewart won airborne here.
And it was Ward Burton's car being sideways that blocked up the track for everybody behind him.
Boy, and it gets hit by every car in the field, seems like, and Tony Stewart's car just took a whale of a ride.
Loose all day. Now, this is Kevin Harvick in the 29, turn 7.
To turn 7.
Turn 4 to turn 7.
Harvick's there.
Beating and banging. Stewart saw it happening.
And Tony Stewart had the momentum.
You see, this is just what drives me crazy. Robbie Gordon is worried about a lap car, and he lets Tony Stewart take the lead.
They race to the checkered flag and the caution. Stewart by 6 car lengths.
It's going to be interesting. Watch Robbie Gordon going down in his turn 11. This is a time you might as well go in and drive her down in there, Robbie. See what you got, buddy.
No, he's too far back there. Unless Tony locks it up and slides out of the groove. They know about Terry Labonte's car here.
Tony Stewart.
Look at Robbie. He's got her smoking sideways back there.
Off the corner, and Stewart will get his 11th career Winston Cup victory. He wins on a road course in only his 5th road course start. Tony Stewart, Greg Zipadelli, Joe Gibbs Racing. A road course winner. Not bad for a fellow who started his career on small ovals, worked up to bigger ones.
Sweet, baby.
Flag, Mike.
Tony Stewart has only started 7 races at Richmond International Speedway, and he's about to go to victory lane for the 3rd time here. He won at Atlanta, and if he rounds turns 3 and 4, he'll score his 2nd victory of 2002. Tony Stewart's Home Depot Pontiac wins the Pontiac Excitement 400.
Well, with Mark got another good run, just like he did in California. Mark, tell us about your runs. Another great top 5 finish.
Well, that's all right, Mike. Tony Stewart, you guys had to drop to the rear of the field. Be patient. Do it over 2 days. Tell us how you won this race.
I'll show you exactly if I can find the guy. I guess he's already running around. Greg Zipadelli's the guy that won this race for us.
The Rushville Rocket from Indiana is the 2002 NASCAR Winston Cup champion. Here's your champion, ladies and gentlemen, Tony Stewart.
On behalf of everybody from NASCAR, congratulations. You've earned it. The pressure's off. Enjoy it now.
Awfully close there. He's got a good run going. Look at him. He can really loose on the bottom of the racetrack. And Tony Stewart, the same position on the outside. Whoa, he hit him. Just did hit him. The exact same thing happened, but Tony Stewart was able to save that thing. Same exact wiggle. You're right. He chased it up the racetrack right into the quarter panel.
Ted Musgrave being shown as our newest leader. We've had 5 different leaders. Musgrave has led the most laps. That's number 88 for him as he wiggles again, slides back behind
John Wood coming. He can win this race too. John Wood's been on a wheel all night long. Now he's working the bottom.
Up in front, it is Tony Stewart leading Robert Presley with 1 lap to go. 3/4 of a mile here at Richmond International Raceway.
Drive it down to the bottom, Robert. That's the only place you can go. Tony's up high.
Tony Stewart looking to repeat here at Richmond. He's only run 3 Craftsman Truck Series races. This will be his 2nd win if he can hold off Robert Presley. Coming out of turn number 4, Tony Stewart wins the Virginians for Love 200.
Look at that battle. Bobby Hamilton. Oh, he wrecks Brendan going on the last turn. They came across the checker, but he got into Brendan big time. He absolutely turned him. There was no question about that. I don't know what. Obviously, Bobby must not have been happy about something, but he without a doubt turned Brendan into the wall there and wiped out his truck after the checkered flag. That was definitely with no question.
Tony Stewart claims his 2nd NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series win in 3 starts.
Going to restart with 3 laps to go, 7.5 miles from the green flag to victory lane.
Be ready. Ready.
Here we go.
Green flag, green flag.
It's a good start. Pretty strung out.
This will be the final lap at speed, and Tony Stewart leads into the flag.
Yeah, there's no way we can get this race restarted. That's lap 198.
And Tony tames the triangle here at Pocono for the first time winning here, covering 500 miles. All right, Steve Burns is with Tony. Steve?
Well, Tony, you guys have been so good over the last month, but with so much adversity, how rewarding is it to win this race here at Pocono after what you guys have been through?
We finally got the monkey off our back, I think, here. It's been a long time this year, that's for sure. I never thought I'd appreciate the first win of the year so much, but, you know, with what happened to us at Dover last week with my mistake of getting over the line and, you know, the problem we had at Charlotte and California this year leading races, I mean, we know how to lead, we just haven't been able to finish them off, so it was nice to get this one done today.
Now that you get this win under your belt, can you guys go on a bit of a tear and put some victories back to back?
God, I hope so. I mean, we've been on a tear, we just haven't finished it off here, so, you know, all of our sponsors, Coca-Cola, Home Depot, Old Spice, I mean, everybody with this Joe Gibbs Racing team is, you know, has been patting us on the back and telling us that we've been doing a good job. We just, you know, have to keep doing what we're doing, and, you know, it's due to their support that we've kept our head up, and, you know, here we are.
Newman trying to protect that inside lane. Stewart just underneath him. Is this enough? He's got the fender there this time. Tony Stewart even.
And Stewart led that lap as they crossed the start-finish line. But Newman is going to go in. He's going to... Tony doesn't have that wall of air to lean against. Oh, but Tony's got him, I do believe.
New leader, Tony Stewart, the defending NASCAR Winston Cup Series champion. He's going to make a very excellent late charge from 8 seconds back to victory lane.
He'll find victory lane. I bet he will. Today.
And there goes the 41 car, Benny.
Yep, he's still running. White flag. Marty may be right. We'll see.
Well, can we say Jimmy was right?
Jimmy was right. Jimmy Elliott was right. Yeah, not Marty. Tony, very impressive today.
This is a team that has endured its share of ups and downs, the different things that happen to them, the controversy that seems to just build up and swirl around them from time to time. Last weekend at the Brickyard 400, Tony Stewart not able to come up with the result that he so badly wants at that racetrack. Brushed it off probably as well as he ever has. A disappointment at Indianapolis particularly. And here at Watkins Glen today, overcoming the physical cramps that have dogged him throughout the day, and he's going to ride his way to a dominating win. He'll lead half the race today and take his second Watkins Glen checkered flag. Tony Stewart is the winner. Oh, just as we come back to Chicagoland, that's the race leader, Casey Kane. He took fuel only on the restart, and he's got company in the big pile.
Wait a minute, we'll see.
But you know what? What caused that? You got a guy that's not on new turn.
Wow.
BP, there's a big fight in the 20 pit. Tommy Baldwin, a number of the Dodge guys came down to talk to the 20 crew members. NASCAR officials do have Tommy Baldwin. They are trying to break this up. Huge altercation down here in the 20 pit, guys.
Man.
Here's my point on this deal, guys. When some guys take tires, some guys don't take tires. If you don't have new tires, you can't go into turn one as hard as the guy that's got new tires. So Casey Kane went into the corner, but he couldn't charge the corner like Tony Stewart, who had the new tires.
There we see Tommy Baldwin, the crew chief on the right, the light-haired fellow, the dark-haired fellow, Jim Pullman, the car chief.
The day's headlines will be an interesting one for Tony and his team, involved in the incident with Casey Kane a little earlier on a restart, and then the altercation on pit road between the 9 and 20 pit crews. But in the end, it'll be a dominating performance by Stewart, who will have led 160 of 267 laps.
That's pretty dominant. Oh, he's been by far the best car today. There's no doubt about it.
Drivers who won a race a year ago who've not won this year. There are quite a few of them. In fact, 11 drivers. Winners last year, not this. Scratch one off the list. Tony Stewart, with his first win of 2004.
Yeah, what an awesome weekend, boy. I tell you, these Home Depot guys, they had the longest day on Friday that I think I've ever seen them have on a Friday here, but you know, they just did a great job. You know, we made some changes yesterday. Zippy and I talked about it, and this thing was just awesome all day long.
Boy, he laid back and got that run between 1 and 2.
Kane trying to hold him off, can't do it. Side by side in front of his sweep. They sweep into two and onto the backstretch. Tony Stewart takes the lead at Indy. Through turn 4, the last trip down the front stretch. Tony Stewart, a native Hoosier, his dream comes true. Tony Stewart wins the All-State 400 at the Brickyard.
He's something on it, and he's acknowledging these Indiana fans. This is terrific stuff. Just terrific stuff.
I wish I could put it in words. Today's been my entire life.
Just not close enough to get anything done.
No. Jimmy Johnson is trying to get by Dale Jarrett on the outside.
Yeah, that 20 car will get awfully wide from this point on.
Half a lap for Tony Stewart. One on the road course a week ago at Sonoma. Picked up emotion and momentum, pursuing his second Nextel Cup championship. Tony Stewart, a native of Indiana, has always wanted to win in Indianapolis, but tonight he's going to shut out the field, and Tony Stewart takes the checkered flag at Daytona. Tony Stewart has won at Daytona, and he's going to bring an Indianapolis tradition to the Daytona International Speedway.
What's he doing?
He's going to wave the checkered flag.
He climbed up the flag stand.
See, you hang around the racetrack till 1:45 in the morning, you never know how much excitement you might enjoy. Be careful.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to hurt good stuff right now.
We're going to Chicago. Well, he's happy. He's very happy.
Heading to Phoenix, Stewart held a 38-point lead over Jimmy Johnson. A solid fourth-place finish allowed Stewart to extend his points lead to 52 heading into Homestead. The season finale featured a young gun hungry for his first championship and a veteran hoping to reclaim championship glory. A crash by Kyle Busch put a scare into the Home Depot team.
I don't need no more of that. That hurts my heart.
Later in the race, Tony Stewart was able to breathe a little easier when trouble struck the 48.
Spun around here, Chad, backing in the fence left side.
And there's the end of his championship hopes, right there.
While Stewart focused on winning the war, Mark Martin and Greg Biffle battled for the final win of the season.
Out of 4, they come to the line. Wow, Greg Biffle wins the race.
Small Sam.
Tony Stewart is the 2005 NASCAR Cup Series champion.
Way to go, guys.
Tony Stewart's 2005 championship was the second of his career and the third title for Joe Gibbs Racing in the last 6 seasons.
Oh, car in the grass, Matt Kenseth. Look out!
Wow, I can't believe everybody missed that.
check what happened. There's Tony. Man, it doesn't get much lighter than that.
And look at this, up across the track. And a lot of guys with some heads-up driving.
A lot of cars missed this wreck. Oh, my goodness.
Watch the 20. 17's on the right-hand side.
You know, for a guy that was talking about over-aggressive driving, which was Tony Stewart earlier this week, I don't understand what his situation was there.
Stewart and his crew in his car have had quite a day.
First of all, he gets loose off turn 2. Took the lead on the next lap, but then Jeff Gordon comes up in the 24 car. Both Gordon and Stewart brushed the wall off turn 2. But Tony came back from that, and that damage. See the crew working on it.
After it really looked like he might not even be competitive, and then just moments ago, attack Matt Kenseth spinning through the grass in Daytona.
If these guys behind you will start racing.
But I guarantee you, Tony Stewart in that 20 car, he knows he can't get far off the bottom, but he's going to have to go to the top if he wants to go around Boris set. Boris puts a block on him. There comes Kyle Busch in the back of the bottom. He's going to push Boris.
2 laps to go.
Now here's where Boris might be a little bit nervous.
Seth and Stewart side by side. Stewart has help. Kenseth has never won here, but he's taking the long way around on the outside.
Now just remember, it gets really tense coming down the back right here. You start blocking.
In turn 3. Caution is out.
He scaled that thing pretty rapid.
Oh, he did. That's what winning will do for you.
Tony Stewart climbs the fence and captures the flag.
Yes.
Uh-oh, there goes Tony. Oh, my goodness.
And here comes Kurt. Cannot get off of him. They make contact.
And then once Tony gets sideways, nowhere for Kurt Busch, the 2 to go.
What a shame.
A 4-car jam session that we've been watching for a lap or 2 has ended up with Kurt Busch in the wall. In the number 2, he was racing with Tony Stewart, Greg Biffle, and younger brother Kyle.
And he thinks he's probably got him cleared, or at least he needs some room up. Ain't going to happen.
So I feel bad that, you know, some of this is going to be overshadowed. What I did, but the most important thing is the Ferentz family today, so condolences to them. And, you know, for me, we just didn't finish again by a guy not giving an inch. Plenty of guys behind me all stacked up. He had let a few guys go. Don't know where he's coming from today, so we're all real confused by
Zipadelli, Tony Stewart will come down here in 2007 and take the win in the All-State 400. Tony Stewart wins it.
Right now, Elliott in the crash. Turn 2.
Oh, and nowhere for Tony Stewart to go. And you see that nowhere for Denny Hamlin. They just keep wrecking over here.
Go ahead and give us your take. What happened?
I take 100% responsibility. It's my fault for being even anywhere close to Elliott. So, you know, if I'm within a half lap of him, I expect that to happen. So it's my fault. I mean, I'm the one that hit him. So when I hit him, it caused all the guys behind us to wreck. So it's my fault.
Is there any way to get your car back out there?
Oh, I'm sure it is. It'll look like a dune buggy when we get out there, but we'll get it out there. I got a great group of guys, and unfortunately, adversity is our motto here at Joe Gibbs Racing. So
we'll do a lot of blocking right here. They've got to run on him. Got to run.
Here they come.
I can't go down there and do that, though.
Actually, I think it's legal on the last lap.
He might have got it right there.
Smoke finally getting it done at Talladega. Jamie.
Oh, and it's a Gatorade bath as he prevails in victory lane. Tony, Greg Zipadelli, your crew chief, told me this morning the way this year has gone, he's been numb. There's been no feelings. What has it been like for you trying to get back to victory lane?
Yeah, love you too, guys. Man, it's It's one thing to get back to victory lane, but to do it at Talladega, this is one of about 4 places I haven't won a cup race at. And man, talk about wanting to win. I've wanted to win here for so long. I got so many friends down here, and Red Farmer and Donnie Allison and all these fans, man. I mean, there's so much orange up there, and I know this hasn't been one of my favorite places on the fan side. You know, people haven't always liked me here, but this was for those guys up in the stands today.
I can tell you that. Not for $1 million and his first win in that car. Man, that thing is so strong on the bottom. They're side by side, halfway down the back straightaway. It's the only car here that can come off too low like that with power and with speed.
Keep the speed up. There he goes. Kenseth's a little stronger on the high side, but Stewart's not going to give up.
Got a little loose that time.
3 to go.
Running out of laps. The clock's ticking. $1 million, man, it's nothing more disgusting than to be running second in this race.
Matt knows he could not open the bottom that time for Stewart through 1 and 2. He hugged the white line. Open the door, though. There's Stewart. And Stewart got him. He got him.
Bye-bye. Clear.
Adios, amigos. Now watch Kenseth, though. I bet Stewart will stay to the bottom. Kenseth may pack it in there, go to the high side.
I don't think he's got anything. Larry, what a great accomplishment for Tony Stewart, this team, that organization. Who would have thunk it?
After self-inflicting a penalty on his pit stop, Tony Stewart makes $1 million.
Let's climb the fence, baby.
Tony Stewart out of the final turn. Made the big move in the offseason.
He comes.
To go over to Haas Racing, take over part of the ownership, and Tony Stewart's going to take that team to victory lane.
Hey, listen to the crowd, man.
Got it, folks. Thanks, buddy.
That's incredible.
God, I'm proud of you guys.
That's a victory flag he's going to hang on to for a long time. He's the 6th owner-driver to win here at Pocono.
Here we go. The green flag is in the air. 4 laps remaining.
I like these double file restarts, man. Especially like this. 4 or 5 laps to go.
And there's 4 strong. Oh, wow. Jimmy Johnson dumped the 11. I did not expect that. He just left him. Well, Hamlin's going to slide down in there.
But it's almost like with these cars, once you pull down behind the car, you don't go anywhere, but the car in front of you, he doesn't go anywhere either. Both cars just fell in line. I'm
2 to go.
The guys running 6th and 7th have torn up race cars. You know what I mean? I mean, they've been in accidents, but they have driven the wheels off of them, Kurt Busch and Juan Montoya, to keep these cars in contention.
The only ones not with any damage are the ones at the very front of this pack. But we're not done as we're coming around, getting ready for the white flag.
31 and Burton car.
Here they come. To the outside. Here comes Kyle Busch. He's got him, and Tony cuts off Hamlin.
Now what's Tony going to do?
You're clear.
And now the question is, Tony's got no help because these guys are running too wide behind him. Right. So now it's man on man right now.
I don't think it's gonna get wider here in a minute, I believe.
Here comes Johnson in behind Stewart. Is it enough? Hamlin's high side up there by himself in the 11. First lap led all night by Kyle Busch, and it's the money lap, and it might be all it takes.
It really
now, what does Johnson do to help Stewart?
Doesn't matter. Kyle Busch is going to hog all the racetrack, or he should. He's mirror driving right now.
Tony Stewart trying to get to the bottom.
He may get turned for mirror driving, but he's going to be mirror driving.
Stewart's trying to squeeze in there.
See that hand?
Shoving to the bottom.
He just wanted to touch him, man. Just wanted to touch him.
Can't get him to the high side. Here he comes. No,
there he turns him.
He turns him. Busch in the wall. Here comes Stewart to the checkered flag. And another car gets in the backside. It's Casey Kane. And they're scattering everywhere as they come to the line. Tony Stewart, his 36th win in his 374th start. Oh, man, there goes our camera.
And we lost another camera right there.
Daytona fans got their money's worth.
That was Stewart's crew.
Straight away.
This is why everybody looks forward to the 4th of July race here at Daytona. Watch this.
Stewart is going to win here at Auto Club Speedway. The battle's going to be for second. Stewart takes the checkered flag. Who gets second? Well, Tony's enjoying this so much because he's never done it here at Auto Club Speedway. He is just finally making the turn to come back down towards victory. He may go down for another pass in front of the crowd. Look at this. Uh-oh. Listen to the crowd.
I think he was upset or worried that I was going to be upset about it on his side, and it wasn't his fault. I mean, obviously, and I got a chance to see it in the infield care center. It's definitely my fault. So apologize to all the teams and drivers that we got caught up at and their fans for it. So we had a really good car there, and just shame that it happened, let alone to some of your teammates like that.
Allgaier's got the run on the high side. Does he get any help? Not right now. Now he's going to look low.
Here comes
Meanwhile, going to crash. Kyle Busch, the 22 of Keselowski. While they spin, coming down the front straightaway, it's going to be all Tony Stewart.
The checker flag is waving.
Kevin Harvick trying to duck underneath. Who gets second behind Stewart? It is Edwards. Harvick third. Allgaier fourth. Woo, what a finish.
Oh, my gosh.
This thing was bad fast.
Tony Stewart's 15th Daytona win. It ranks third all-time behind Dale Earnhardt's 34, Bobby Allison's 16, and he's tied with Cale Yarborough.
I'm glad that the guy's just so good. You give him anything close to a decent race car, his talent shines.
And Harvick comes back for a third-place finish.
Yeah, what a move he made down to the inside on that last lap. Almost got to second.
Matt Kenseth, Jimmy Johnson, all slowing out of gas. Tony Stewart, the fuel holds up. Tony Stewart opens the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup with his first win of the season. There are cars running out of gas everywhere around this racetrack. Matt Kenseth getting pushed by the 38 car. He doesn't want that on the last lap of this race.
Well, he got pushed all the way down the back straightaway and all the way through 3 and 4.
Trevor Bayne is slow on the apron.
Guys, I'm proud of you.
Allmendinger ran out of gas. Looks like Ryan Newman ran out of gas. Jeff Gordon ran out of gas. Boyer is questioning whether he's running out of fuel. Here comes Stewart.
Yeah, there it is. He's out.
Stewart to the lead. 2 laps to go.
Now, does Tony have enough fuel?
It was this race a year ago. Stewart led coming off turn 4 to the white flag. And he ran out of gas. Is it going to be different this time?
He's got a big lead. He can sit on that. He doesn't have to run very hard.
White flag is up this time. 1 lap to go.
Looks like Brad Keselowski took second away from Greg Biffle.
Final lap in New Hampshire. Watching Tony Stewart to see if he's got enough fuel to make it. The advantage he has, he's up 7 seconds on Keselowski now as other people begin to fade.
Get your breath. I got this.
Sounds like he's got plenty of fuel.
So if he was stalking him, he knew just what he was doing. 2 wins in a row to start the chase.
Way to go.
Tony Stewart wins at New Hampshire.
Wow, that's impressive by Tony Stewart and this team. Brad Keselowski, great day.
Greg Biffle out of fuel coming to the checkers. Keselowski gets second, Biffle third, Gordon fourth, Brian Vickers comes home fifth. Dale Earnhardt Jr. possibly out of gas coming to the checkers also and got a right front.
Well, Matt Kenseth comes home sixth. What a rebound for him.
Oh, another crazy finish.
Hard.
Turn 3.
White flag's out, though.
Logano's still driving around. We are on the last lap. Stewart, Johnson, Gordon. Will there be a bump and run? He's going to try it. Johnson gets there, but not enough. Tony Stewart wins at Martinsville. Clint Boyer spinning around in the final corner. Just shy of the finish. How about Tony Stewart, who's run so poorly at this racetrack the last couple of races? They got the upfront starting spot when qualifying was rained out. They got shuffled back. They used strategy to get back to the front, and a timely win in his bid for the championship.
I've seen some gutsy runs, but that one right there, they dug deep. This whole team did. Tony, by staying on the lead lap when they were trying to lap him, coming around here and working on this car, this is incredible. Nothing feels better than a win like this.
Oh, you were talking about them running poorly. Recently, they ran poorly in the middle of this race.
Almost getting lapped and then fought back, made some changes. Here they are.
Not all that impressive at Kansas, 15th. but then 8th at Charlotte, 7th at Talladega, the winner at Martinsville last week, and a dominator today. He'll gain ground, not a ton, as Carl Edwards is going to finish second. But with his 4th win in 8 tries in his bid for the championship, Tony Stewart takes the checkered flag at Texas. Kyle Busch and Keselowski not giving in. Stewart by Busch. Here's Edwards trying to keep pace. Oh, that's close. Look at Stewart drive that car. Wow. Stewart by Keselowski to the lead. That's 4 fresh tires working right there. Edwards racing the 2 for second and trying to keep up. Oh, here comes Edwards. Got to run. Looking for second place. Look at the hands inside that 99 car. Fighting for control into the corner.
All clear. Go get the 14 now.
Final lap. Stewart and Edwards, 1st and 2nd. Winner takes the championship.
It's just the most incredible run I've ever seen out of a race car driver, what Tony Stewart has done in this case and tonight.
Yeah, I think it's the best driving I've ever seen, and Carl Edwards did an incredible job too, but this is the man right here, Tony Stewart.
2002, he was the champion. 2005, he was the champion, those driving for someone else. This time, he's an older driver, and he's going to become a 3-time NASCAR Sprint Cup champion.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, your 2011 NASCAR Sprint Cup champion, Tony Stewart. Wow, what a performance tonight. And what better way, Tony, for the closest chase in NASCAR Sprint Cup history to finish? Tony, 2 of NASCAR's heavyweights. Tony Gibson coming over. 2 of NASCAR's heavyweights going toe-to-toe, head-to-head, the final laps, and you won it in the championship. What's the emotion right now?
Oh, God, thank the Lord for this one, buddy. Man, I'm telling you, it's been a tough summer and a tough fall for us, and you got to believe in something. And the man upstairs, and he held this rain off just long enough for us to get this job done. So, this is for Sprint and all these fans up here that stuck it out all weekend here in Homestead. And oh my God, I don't care how long it rains, I'm gonna be up all night. This is, oh my God, are you kidding me?
From under it, and he timed that beautifully.
There it is on Fox Extreme slow motion. Kyle Busch for Joe Gibbs Racing, the winner.
That was pretty unbelievable.
Look at this last lap. Now, in the old style of tandem racing, the pusher could not be the trophy holder. Not tonight.
That was a thing of beauty. He timed that to perfection. Jumped out there.
Oh, Tony's going around. Another wreck to the tri-oval. Kyle Busch. Hard slide through the grass. No contact. at least half a dozen cars involved in this one.
He gets a little push from behind, maybe from Joey Logano.
He and Stenhouse go around. Newman and Busch.
And Newman and Busch was actually in front of Tony a little bit when that started happening.
Have to take a couple more looks at that. Right there. Stenhouse got into the side, and Stenhouse in the 6 got into Tony.
I'm not sure, though, that David Gilliland didn't get into the back of Stenhouse and push him up into Tony.
Could have to look at it again.
That's about the second or third wreck we've seen on the exit of the tri-oval. It just starts narrowing up right there.
Cars are really free and loose right through the tri-oval. I'm telling you, you run at 200 mile an hour through there, it's hard to hang on sometime.
You saw there where Kyle Busch in the 18 jumped down in front of Ricky Stenhouse in the 6.
There. This is going to be. This
they're
is
stacking up. They're stacking up.
Through turns 3 and 4
here we go.
the final time. Big crash behind the race leader, Tony Stewart. That's going to allow Smoke to pull away. What's going to happen behind him? Can Burton get there? No, he can't. Tony Stewart wins it at Daytona.
We'll take that.
Great finish.
From 42nd to the win.
Job to put him in position, and you know Matt's just where he's got to be, but Casey Kane deserves a lot of credit for that too, pushing that 14 and getting him in the right position.
Did you see the water spitting out of that thing, man? I mean, he sacrificed his engine right there.
We told you in Countdown to Green, it's all going to come down to the final lap, and it did not disappoint once again.
Way to drive that thing. I might figure it out one day.
That's incredible.
Dale Earnhardt won 34 races here. That's more than anybody when you go across all the series. Second on that list at this track, Tony Stewart. Tonight, he collects his 18th checkered flag. And it's his 4th in this race in the last 8 years. And oh, by the way, now he's got 3 wins, joining Brad Keselowski. How huge will that be when we head to the playoffs in September? Did get a report that Marcus Ambrose, involved in that earlier accident, hard hit, has walked from the infield care center. And it appears that everyone that was involved in this accident coming to the checker has been able to walk away. Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s window net is down. There you see him walking across the infield.
Yeah, these guys won't even probably.
Cars are stopped. The rain is falling. Drivers getting out of their cars. And Tony Stewart, officially the winner. Red flag rain, a rain-shortened, first ever rain-shortened race here at the Auto Club Speedway, but the second win this season already for Tony Stewart in just 5 races.
And what a start for this team. You know, you get a new crew chief, you want things to get off on a good start so that you can build some momentum. Tony's certainly done that with 2 victories.
To the lead at the white flag. We're on the last lap. Will they make it back?
Wayne will pass the fast when he's got the 49 pushing him here.
4 deep behind Stewart and Kenseth.
Yeah, Kevin Harvick's got some real help coming towards the front here.
Michael Waltrip in the 55. Into the picture. Pushed by Casey Mears. Kenseth with Harvick behind him. Oh, there's contact. Stewart into the middle of the pack and over.
Fortune's out.
And a huge wreck to end this race. Matt Kenseth is going to get to the finish line first.
You can see Tony just a little bit late in making that move to get back down. Harvick and Kenseth on the outside had a run, so they were literally going to go by him on both sides.
Watch the 2. The championship leader somehow avoided getting really torn up in that.
See, it looked like Martin Truex was going to get through there. Bobby Labonte caught him right at the end. Quite as good. It's a lot of contact.
Oh, no. There they go.
Didn't work out for either one of them. That was his slot job down in 1 and 2 to take the spot away from Kenseth. That Kenseth tries to drive in hard, slides up with contact. I have to call that racing. I mean, that's try to throw the blame there. That's just racing. Kenseth does slide up into Stewart a little. Tony comes down, trying to pin him down a little bit. That creates contact that gets Kenseth sideways.
Yeah, but I thought Tony had to get down a little bit. And we've talked about how just on the exit right there's not a lot of room. The groove's fairly narrow.
Tony not very happy.
Oh. Gosh, looks familiar. Well, we know what Tony thinks. That's a perfect strike.
That's a nice throw.
That time he held the car down. That time he maintained his line.
By keeping the car low. So Stewart, he's going to make Stewart go around him on the outside if Tony can. 3 to go.
It's going to be a battle right here. Got to get back to the gas. Got to go. Here comes
traffic
smoke.
ahead.
Here he comes. He's out there. He's got him this time.
Even into 3. Jeff Gordon looking on, and Stewart, the lead up high. Montoya comes battling back on the bottom. 2 laps to go.
That's 2 of the best open wheel drivers that I've ever seen. And they're going at it here at the Magic Mile.
And don't forget Jeff Gordon cuts his teeth in open wheel race cars, and he is right up to the back bumper of Montoya.
Yeah, Montoya really got loose off 2 that time.
Yeah, he got a great run, and he's going to pull to the bottom. They'll be coming to the white flag this time.
1 lap to go in a thriller at Dover, Delaware.
Montoya did. He drove that thing up all 4, even though it was sideways. And don't look now, that 18 car slipping in the picture might get around Jeff Gordon if he's not careful.
Tony Stewart will come up on Timmy Hill in the back straightaway, looking for his 48th career win. Hill stays high, and the driver who started the weekend saying this is our worst track is going to victory lane in Dover. Tony Stewart wins the FedEx 400 benefiting Autism Speak.
Smoke them today.
He's not doing so good there. He's hurt. He's hurt. They're laying him down. It's a leg. Whatever it is, it's his leg. I got a lot of video.
Back to the checkered flag. Rolling.
Single file, no takers yet, single file.
Jamie McMurray leading. Here's the first move. Oh, trouble. Dillon gets turned around into the middle of the pack. Casey Mears is the one that hit him. Caution is out, race is over.
All good, guys. All good.
Jamie McMurray, carrying the colors of Auburn University, his sponsor with a big relationship with the school, is going to take War Eagle to the finish line first. Jamie McMurray wins at Talladega.
Here's Stenhouse. You can see right there. He's already making contact with Dillon's bumper.
Wow, looked like Dillon might have just turned around.
Yeah.
It might have just been there. Wow, what contact that was. It had just been the air coming across the back that got him loose.
Deadly accident on the racetrack. NASCAR superstar Tony Stewart being investigated after his car struck and killed another driver who walked onto the racetrack to confront him. The victim's family is speaking out this morning, and ABC's Gio Benitez is at the scene in upstate New York with the latest for us. Gio, good morning.
Good morning to you, David. This is that small town racetrack where the crash happened. And right now, investigators are desperately searching for any other video that may show exactly how this young driver died. This morning, investigators are poring over this video filmed by a spectator, then posted on YouTube, showing Kevin Ward Jr. apparently trying to confront Tony Stewart before being struck and killed by the NASCAR superstar. Stewart was competing in a dirt track race on Saturday when his number 14 car bumped number 13, driven by Ward, sending Ward's car flying into the wall. Watch, 20-year-old Ward climbs out of his car, rushing onto the track as several cars speed by, pointing his finger, apparently at Stewart. Then, just a fraction of a second later, Ward is hit by the right side of Stewart's car.
He actually had to back up and almost stack the entire outside.
Oh, around goes Kenseth and up into Tony Stewart, and cars are in the wall hard.
You see Carl Edwards there in the 99, Matt Kenseth in the 20.
Danica hadn't hit anything, and then her right front was hit by Ricky Stenhouse Jr. late in that crash.
The bright yellow car, Kenseth, he's coming down because Brad Keselowski slowed up. He was trying to get out of that lane, but like you said, the 22 of Logano was already there.
Logano got there. Matt decided he was going to hook a left and dive low.
Dale Jr. misses it on the inside.
Stenhouse was... Stenhouse was in the first crash. I don't think he had any steering, Larry, when he got to Danica.
To the wall. All good. Yellows out, yellows out, yellows out. Wave them off.
If there's going to be a big wreck, it's behind you. You can see Ricky had been into the wall on the outside, and he's just helpless. No steering in that car.
And that makes better sense because what I saw in the first replay, it's like he never slowed down.
Watch the 24 of Jeff Gordon. There's Ryan Newman getting by.
And look up top,
Gordon
Mike.
tipped up into the 99 of Edwards, and Kurt Busch piles in the 41.
And then here comes Stenhouse. Hard contact into the outside wall, into the back of Kurt Busch.
Lifted him up. Lifted Gordon up.
And now he's just a passenger.
See what Smoke's got here. He was pretty good.
Hey!
For Stewart, top of the board, 27-62. That knocks Keselowski off the pole, and Logano finishes the session slower than his first lap, and he stays 10th.
Is it fair to say that the Stewart-Haas guys are on a pretty good roll right now?
I think that's a very safe statement. I mean, did it there with no time on the clock.
They put 3 of their 4 cars into the final round. Brad was on pole until Stewart completed his run.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Gee.
Front row? He's
back to the front row, though.
You're on the front row.
By 5 1/1000ths of a second, Tony Stewart wins the pole.
The momentum really continues for this number 14 team.
Yeah, and it's because of Mobil 1, and we got the advanced fuel economy version on the car this week. It should be advanced speed economy because it's saying it's fast every round. So just wasn't sure if I was going to be able to hold on. It felt really fast right to the middle of 3 and 4, and then it got really loose the last half of the corner. But man, Chad Johnson and this whole Mobil 1 team, Bass Pro, Rush Truck Centers, Code 3 Associates, this Chevy was fast today.
Good luck tomorrow.
All right, buddy. Thanks.
Good at this stuff.
Bobby Labonte in that 33 car has been pushed out front. Coming off of turn 4, when we get to the start-finish line, we will complete lap 20 today.
Ricky behind you here, Ricky.
And now we have a crash. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. involved. Tony Stewart around. And that's Dale Earnhardt Jr. through the infield grass. Carl Edwards has some damage.
Kenseth just about had it missed, and looks like he ran into the 88.
Harvick, Johnson,
a lot of good
Kyle
race
Larson.
cars. I mean, a lot of good race cars. Stenhouse got a little bit squirrely. Stewart came down, or came up and got into Jeff Gordon there. Looks like Stewart was just trying to avoid the 17.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell from that angle, but it looks like Stenhouse, as he gets squirrely, comes down into Tony a little bit. You see Stenhouse up next to the wall, sideways, comes down across, taps Stewart. Oh.
Yeah, no, Jeff was trying to avoid this 17 car and got into Tony Stewart.
Yeah, got in the right rear of Tony. Yeah.
Trevor Bayne, who won the 2011 Daytona 500, driving for the Wood brothers, and that 21 car got turned around.
At the entrance to the pit road, that's the hit Matt Kenseth was talking about. And while doing that, Keselowski runs into the back of Tony Stewart, so then this. From Tony Stewart's bumper camera.
And that's where all the front end damage came from.
So, that the on the track and on pit lane portion of the program, and then of course we saw all the fireworks back in the garage.
Whoa, Stewart around into Biffle.
Tony Stewart goes around. And caution waves yet again.
More cars.
Kurt Busch and Greg Biffle, a hard hit there.
It's like the 18 and the 14 made some contact. Looked like smoke kind of drifted up in front of Kyle Busch, and they made a little contact, and that turned the 14 right down the hill.
Jeff Gordon, another near miss. And Kurt Busch all torn up, not sure he could even see the 16.
Yeah, and where he hit
off
that
the wall here. Pow!
Where the 16, I guess the 16 or 4, I don't know which one hit at the end of the wall. I think the 16 did.
Driver we could find that changed four tires.
Whoa, smoke.
Stewart around.
Goes smoke.
And Paul Menard got a piece of him as he went around and brought out the 8th caution of the day.
He shoves up into the 51 and trying to stay off of him and get away from him, he spins the car out. Tony Stewart did. Coming up. He tries to get off of him right here, but in the process of trying to get off the 51 Algar, the car jumps sideways with him.
And Paul Menard just can't miss him. Let's see what Brad Keselowski saw.
Back either way. Play high, Menard, one back either way. Go. Play high.
From 33rd up into the top 20 since the restart. Stewart in the wall. And now Matt Kenseth got bounced into the wall. Everybody scatters. Yellow flag. The Chevy of Tony Stewart, the Toyota of Matt Kenseth come to grief here between turn 4 and the trioval at lap 41.
Look like that thing that we've seen. Oh gosh, he got right over into the 21 car. One of the things we've seen is when a car gets to the left corner of your car, it loosens you up so badly. That's what it looked like. Hamlin got that nose up there, shot him up the track.
Now Stewart was 6th down here at the bottom of the racetrack.
Yeah, you see Hamlin behind him in the 11. Now watch when Hamlin gets right to that left rear quarter panel. It turns your car, it makes your car get loose. And Tony tried to correct. Ryan Blaney was there. Michael ran into back of the 20. Michael walked in the 55, ran in the back of the 20 of Matt Kenseth. Just a bottleneck chain reaction.
Damage on that red and white 21 of Ryan Blaney's as well.
Look at Jamie McMurray in that black number 1. He's going to slide through there.
Good evening and welcome to NASCAR Race Hub on this Tuesday with Danielle Trotta. I'm Adam Alexander.
We have some breaking news tonight, Adam, which involves one of the sport's biggest stars, three-time Sprint Cup champion Tony Stewart.
Yeah, Danielle, Smoke has been hospitalized with a back injury following what team officials have described as a non-racing accident while riding an ATV on the West Coast. The accident occurred on Sunday afternoon. The 44-year-old is awake and alert and has been able to move all extremities. Stewart was in Scottsdale, Arizona on Saturday night for the Barrett-Jackson auction. The three-time champion was prepared to open up his final season of competition on track at Daytona in less than 2 weeks in NASCAR Sprint Cup Series.
Adam, this statement was released by Stewart-Haas Racing spokesman Mike Arning this afternoon. Quote, Tony Stewart, driver of the number 14 Chevrolet for Stewart-Haas Racing in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, sustained a back injury in a non-racing accident Sunday afternoon. Stewart was transported to a local hospital following the accident and is currently being evaluated. Stewart is awake and alert and able to move all extremities. An update will be provided Thursday afternoon when more information is known, unquote.
And Danielle, this statement from Brian France, NASCAR chairman and CEO. We have received word from Stewart-Haas Racing of Tony Stewart's accident and injury. On behalf of everyone at NASCAR, I wish Tony a full recovery and look forward to seeing him back in our sport when he's ready to return.
Larry said that he'd get on Earnhardt and said, don't you think you ought to...
Hard in the wall.
Oh, that was a hard lick.
And that is Brian Vickers.
Another right rear tire went down to me.
My gosh, that was a hard lick.
You know, we saw that car really dancing around. You made a comment about it, DW. And the next thing you know, in turn one, you can start to see the sidewall of the tire hanging out.
There she goes.
There's just nothing you can do in that situation.
Goodness.
Oh, Clint Boyer just caught him. Turn 4, Brian Vickers goes for a spin. Everybody takes evasive action and gets by.
Hold on, back on the brake here. Back on the brake. Back on the brake. Back on the brake. There you go.
The 19 car, Carl Edwards, he got damaged. The 6 of Trevor Bain, he got damaged. Several cars damaged in a chain reaction there.
Brian Vickers in the 14 in black and orange.
Gets a run up on Joey Logano, gets right to his bumper on it. Maybe Joey even had to check up, and when he did that, it just took all the air off of Brian's car and off that rear spoiler, and around it went.
Saw the 19 car right there, Carl Edwards. He hit the wall. I really think you're right. What happened was I think Joey's been having to lift off turn 4 there a little bit because the car wasn't handling good. And he just ran up on him.
2 still up there. The 38 is half on the M14 right with him. Still out there.
Right there, you saw the left front tire. Wheel hopping, he's going to hit him.
Hamlin is there.
He hit him.
Hey,
oh,
got him. Oh, no.
It's not over.
Get him back.
Denny got in there and wheel hopped. I don't think he meant for that to happen, but then he made contact with Tony. I think Tony was also pretty loose getting in there.
Well, that was what happened to Tony a lap before, you know, when he got loose into 7 and that allowed Hamlin to close up.
Hey, this thing's not over, guys. Watch what happens into turn 11 in this heavy braking zone.
2 more corners. Hamlin trying to pull away.
Close enough.
I think Tony used up his stuff. I mean, we knew he was having, you know, issues
Here we go.
with the car.
Stewart inside. He is there. He gets Hamlin. They hit. And Stewart comes off turn 11. Look at that. He's coming to the flag.
How did that
Tony Stewart wins.
How did that happen? Are you kidding me?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man.
Go out without celebrations like this. Nobody can describe the journey Tony Stewart has been on over the past 3 years. Smoke, does the impact of this win even more meaningful, the timing of it?
Oh, man. They're all good. It doesn't matter where you get them, but we could run close to those guys all day. We just got stuck back in traffic, so it's pretty ironic. The last one we got was in a Code 3 car, and I'm proud to do it again, but proud of Mobile One and Bass Pro and everybody. They just an awesome job.
It's been an incredible run. 49 wins for 45-year-old.
that a couple more times.
That was Tony on the radio. What a great tribute to a great champion. Jeff, when you call it quits, it has to be difficult. That final time you go out there to race against your friends, your competitors.
Yeah, this is when it hits you. You know, you know it's coming for months, and you've talked about it. You've made a decision, but when you get ready to climb in that car, what's going to be the last time? That's when it all comes crashing down on you, and it is. You know, I think everybody has a different range of emotions. I'm sure that Tony has found this a little bit harder than he would have thought. You know, you make a decision for all the right reasons to go and do something else, but it still is a difficult decision.
He's let everyone know he's going to continue racing. He has a passion for dirt track racing, so that's the direction that he'll be spending most of his time. Owns a dirt track, Eldora, and will continue to operate that, but will step away from the driving side of the Sprint Cup Series.
Tony Stewart just joining the party here on stage. Of course, no, absolutely. Hey, if I'm going to be cut off by someone, it better be Smoke. That's really incredible for a driver and a crew chief to not just have success, but to have this kind of success and to be together this whole time. All 7 have been won with the 2 of you.
So to be able to come out here and do this and witness this and be a part of it with Jimmy is just fantastic.
Well, congratulations. This party, I think your guys are ready to party.
We're ready. We're ready. We've been working long and hard. There's been last 12 weeks we've been nothing but full focus forward, and it's definitely paid off.
Congratulations. I know you're going to enjoy it. Let's bring Tony's back here talking to Mr. H right now. We've had Jeff Gordon here as well. The helmet, is it the helmet exchange going on?
Yeah, I promised him I'd give him a helmet, and I wanted to wait and see if I could give him this one. He doesn't really want it. He said if I want it back, I can have it back, but I promised him I'd give him a helmet.
That's very special. I know Tony has been exchanging helmets with drivers all day. Tony talking to Mr. H. We said Jeff Gordon's up here. Wait, got a helmet, Tony? You got a new helmet in your hand here.
Yeah, this is probably the biggest honor you can have as a driver, to get a guy that just won his 7th championship get his helmet like that. So it shows how good of a friend he really is.
Well, this was special. Every driver we talked to today, obviously it is Jimmy's night and Jimmy's championship and Jimmy's celebration, but this is a special night for you as well, Tony, your final NASCAR ride. I know the moment that I'm guessing was really special to you is when all those crew members lined up to shake your hand before you took that final NASCAR ride.
Yeah, it was funny because I told my guys I almost went a lap down before the race started, just you know, the send-off that those guys gave me, but it truly meant the world to me. That's going to be the highlight of my day. It was that one moment and this moment with this guy.
What I can think of no better way for Tony's NASCAR season to end than with Jimmy Johnson tying history with a 7th championship.
Tony Stewart chooses to live life fully, and he loves what he does, which they say is the key to never really working a day in your life. So while the Daytona 500 headlines will not boast of Stewart's triumph on Sunday, we know that Smoke, who is one of the most respected, revered, and resilient drivers of his time, will be back. And knowing him, who is to say that as the sun sets 287 miles down the road in November, we won't see his name inscribed in sterling silver on another trophy, and that trademark Tony smile.